And we are live. Welcome. First one to chat already was back to the retro. So welcome aboard. We are a few minutes late, but as always, we want to make sure we have at least for now, the technical difficulties worked out. So we
My
have that
bad.
for now. So other than that, how is Mike this fine evening?
I'm doing good now that I completely undid everything I tried to do.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you're always messing with that studio, but hey, that's
I
fun. I
am.
mean, it's kind of fun, 'cause you always think of something new to do with it,
Yeah.
So
I had it that close and then I couldn't leave it alone. I'm like, well, let me try this one cable over here. It's a little longer, not so much tension. And then it just totally imploded everything.
oh
So,
wow.
anyways, back to the mirrorless camera setup, and we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, there you go. And I like the two microphones in the background. Is that an orange and a red one, or is that
Oh yeah, those are the new.
new road covers?
Yeah, I
Oh,
got a whole bunch.
okay.
Yeah, I got the
And
pink one.
you got all the colors.
Yeah, anything I can do to get my wife to go on a live stream with me. I got her pink.
Right. Yeah, you got to make her you give her some incentive to get on there and do it. So
Yeah, I just like colors. I just want to bling it. I love black, so any chance I can just throw something in there of color.
right,
So
I got you.
when they came out, I loaded up.
And there's Bark. He's on. He's down there in our studio. So we're ready to bring him aboard. Are you ready?
Whoa.
Howdy.
Bark. Sorry.
It's a me. It's a me, Bark you.
Yeah, the voice sounded off there, Mike.
I've been singing a little on my videos lately, trying to do what Bark does.
Do Hostamish.
Get that thing away from me. That's what she said.
I know that's the bad thing. When you host somebody that does a lot of microphones like Bark does, he's going to sound 10 times better than what I ever could. So this might be a little intimidating.
No, doesn't need to be that way.
No.
Listen to that mic.
I do. Yeah, I know it is. It's quite good. I do want to make sure we're all nice and audio leveled, though. Hopefully, someone can tell us. I'm sure you guys get this too, but one of the most frustrating things in the world is like looking at levels, whether it's on StreamYard or whether it's on Riverside or whatever we're using, and like they all look really close and matched, and then you watch the playback of the live and it's like, well, not to pick on you, Mike, but
yeah,
Clay was a lot quieter than you on episode 9.
Yeah,
and it's like you probably don't know, and the weird thing is nobody ever points it out for the most part. Like nobody says anything, but here I am in my car, like, what's that, Clay? Say what?
Yeah. I know he feels bad because he's got his air conditioner running in the background in that room, so he tries to crank it down. But I'd rather hear you. But I thought he was quiet. He did sound quiet to me, but no one said anything. So I thought, well,
and
maybe it's just
you don't know if you don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because sometimes the playback sounds different than what you're hearing, That's for sure. Now, you're talking about this last week's podcast? Okay. Yeah. Sorry I missed it. I apologize. I'm going to try not to snort and cough too much. I'm trying to kick this strep throat that I caught last week somehow. So right before, I thought to myself, at least I got it last week instead of this week. I'm getting married Saturday, so it would not be
congratulations.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, it would not be good if I got it this week. I might be in some trouble.
Not to pry, but is it marriage number 1 or
it's actually number 2? Yeah,
but that's fine. I'm on 2. I'm
right,
and I think I'm good to go. But I mean,
I know I found a good one here. That's for sure. So I know I'm not going anywhere. So unless she kicks me out, I don't plan on going anywhere. So, but what mic are you using there?
The Loughton Audio LS208. Okay. Don't hang your head, Mike. It's
I know. I try so hard to get one from them because I can't afford it.
You will have one. You will have one.
We're a small. I even read the email again the other day. I was going through my emails of like, I just want to remember what they said. Well, we're a small company with limited resources, and while we appreciate it, we just don't have any left to hand out.
Yeah. Well, they did go hard on them.
Yeah.
Like a year or so ago. So they probably did hand out quite a few. So.
And Bark, I want to tell you this: you are the sole reason why I own this K669D. Because I was watching a video. That you did. You was comparing that because I was looking at this and the Tank 3 really close. I couldn't figure out which one I wanted, and then somebody commented that they like the sound of the K69 a little bit better, and you said you did too. I said, well, that made my mind up because number one, it was almost a third of the price at the time. I went with this, and I'm not disappointed. So
how can you argue that mic at that price?
I can't believe it. I mean, because I have never heard one person say anything bad about this. Never. I mean,
how can you at $30?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I swear, like I can't 100% get behind this, but I'm pretty sure I need to get one again to comp them. But like one of my favorite mics before that came out was the Heil PR30, not the 40, but the PR30, which was like black with the red end cap. There was a gold version too, but
okay.
I swear that Fifine sounds like that Heil PR30, and the PR30 is like $300.
Oh my!
And so that's a tenth of the price, and I swear they're like they got to be close. Like they both have the same sound character, kind of. So
yeah. Well, I had the Mayano. That's how you say it.
Mono.
PD200X. Yeah.
They're getting hard on us.
I did my first live podcast with Sean Clark of Horror's Hollowed Ground. And I didn't realize at the time, but when I played it back, I sound like I was speaking in like an old time receiver. He sounded like so good because he's using the Audio Technica. I asked him later on, so what were you using? I think it's a shotgun mic he uses because you don't see it at all anywhere on the screen. And he sounds so much better. I said, okay, I got to do something. So I tinkered with that forever, and I couldn't get to sound good. And like I said, I told Mike this. He knows the story. I didn't have an XLR connection at the time, so I was using USB. And I had the Blue Snowball sounded better than that PD200X on USB. I thought, well, this thing sucks. So I got rid of it and ended up getting this.
not good when a snowball sounds better than something.
That's what I thought. Though it could have been me. I haven't tried it. Give it fair. I haven't tried it in this Vocaster 1 that I've got now, so it may sound better in that because that thing that's an incredible interface.
I was really high on the PD200X when it first came out, and now
it looks cool.
Way down. Water has found its level for that mic for me.
Yeah.
That's what happens, man. They, more stuff comes out, and it's like something you love just keeps getting knocked down, or sometimes knocked up a little bit.
Right.
That sounds like a Newman church slip right there. Or knocked up a little bit.
Yeah. But what were some of those things you said that you're
Molly-whopping was the worst?
That is definitely not the definition that you were told by that young man. That's not correct. Like they took that and made it their own. That's not mollywop is perfectly fine to say.
Yeah, I was like, man, growing up in hockey, that was when the guy pulled the shirt over his head and just started wailing on the guy. I was like, that's a mollywopping right there. And then this kid comes up, he says, I can't believe you said that. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then he told me what it was. I'm like, no, it's not. And then he brought up his phone, showed me the definition. And I get home and it's like Urban Dictionary, but Urban Dictionary is like out there.
Yeah, they make. I think they twist words about anything you can nowadays.
Yeah. So, but hey, my wife just was in tears laughing when she heard that.
Right. So. Well, it's a good thing you laugh about it now. It's no harm, no foul, as they say on it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Now, do you want to go by Bark, and you prefer something else before we get too far?
Fine. That's just my friends of last name's Barker. My friends always just called me Bark, and it stuck.
Okay, because I knew Mike kept calling you that, so I thought, well, I guess he's okay with it. So
yeah. Yep.
I'll go with the flow.
Just half of my last name, and it's just you know how buddies are. Like Newman was probably Newman, or Newman. Newsy. I don't know what your buddies called you.
Coming from military, everybody's last names to me.
Yeah,
that's what you called everybody by. Last name Smith, Jones. Whatever. That's what you did. So
mine was always Newmy or Mikey. So anytime I actually preferred when people started saying Newman from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
At work we had a sign out board where you just had to like take a magnet and say if you were in or out of the office, and they like changed my name to like Newman. I was like, all right, cool, that'll work.
Yeah, there we go.
even at work, like I work with mostly females because I work in banking, and there's just not a lot of fellas where I work. But even the females, when they're aggravated with me or if they need a report or this or that, it's always they don't call me Bark, but they call me Barker. It's like nobody calls me my first name anywhere, anytime, any place. It just doesn't happen. So I figure why go by it if nobody says it.
Right. Yeah, that's
outside
true.
of my home, it's Newman. Everywhere I go, it's Newman. Because there's
that's
1,000
what I would call you if I was up there with you. I'd be be Newman.
There's 1,000 mics everywhere I go, so it's like please just say Newman. That way, 10 of us don't look back every time you say
Right.
Mike. So yeah.
Here's something fun. I got a question. Middle names. What are they?
Lee.
Mikey Lee.
Mine is
my dad was a Bruce Lee fan.
Dad Arnold.
No, it's Russell actually. That's named after my godfather, who was on the U.S. Arizona ship when it got bombed. He was a lieutenant colonel Marines, retired from them. So he was a great guy. Fun to listen to. The stories he had was incredible. So I kind of take pride in that. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to have a middle name that you like. Most people don't like theirs.
How often do we get called by our middle names?
Only when you're a kid, your mom you said it when you're using trouble.
That's it.
Chad Russell. What I do,
Yeah.
Better get in there.
My wife uses it a lot.
Oh, really?
Michael Lee.
I can tell by watching some of that episode that your wife probably has, are you in the doghouse a lot, Newman?
Yeah, but I like to do it. I can't help it. I see how aggravated she gets. So I always tap the glass is what I call. Like, at the zoo with the gorillas over there, tap the glass.
Right.
So we literally have a phrase. Yeah, my son always says,
fish, do not tap.
My son's always like, Dad, you're tapping the glass. I said, I know. This is the fun part.
Okay. I didn't know where the comments were. Now I found them. There's some douchey Bronson guy in here. Who invited that guy?
I know.
Who? Come on.
Hey, look at this. This is what he did to me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I can't find. Oh, hold on. Where'd it go?
He got all kinds of stuff. You probably moved it when
you moved the
stereo
He told me to try
around.
something. He told me to try something, and I couldn't find it. It's Red Vines candy.
Oh,
ooh.
That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, there it is. Hold on, I'll come right back.
You can use them as straws too.
I gotta say, you guys have shouted me out at one time or another for helping you find this mic or that mic or whatever.
It's a help, man.
I gotta say, that's Bronson for me.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show that.
That's cool. Yeah.
A little bit of love. Cause I mean, Bronson is that guy. Like if there's a trickle effect and it's like, oh, there's Bandrew and then Bandrew inspired so-and-so and on and on and on. Or we watched,
right.
Totally Bronson for me and Bandrew, but Bronson and me hit it off,
Yeah. Cause I mean, it's the first place I go if I'm in a market for some new electronic or something, really any kind of purchase. I go to YouTube and look for reviews because you can't trust Amazon reviews. You definitely can't trust reviews on their website, and that's how you learn, because you get different sample comparisons, that's another thing. You don't get 90% of reviews elsewhere. There's no comparisons. It's just that product and that's it.
Yeah. Well, and then you got to be aware of the reviewers who are just getting paid to pump sunshine up your hoo-ha.
Oh, this is the greatest thing, meanwhile they probably don't even use it themselves,
Right.
Do you do when they ask you to do the Amazon videos too? Do you do them, Mark? They always ask me to, and I stopped doing it.
I have not done one for a long time. The last time I did one of those was when I had the TV behind me with the logo on it.
Yeah.
And Amazon would not let those pass through.
Yeah, so I gave up.
I don't want to put a black box over it. I don't know. So no, I don't. I usually tell them no.
They kept rejecting mine because of a price tag somewhere or something I said. And I'm like, dude, this is taking me 3 hours to make a 60-second video. I give up.
I would like to. It would be great if we could pump it out everywhere, like heck, I'd put full-length videos on Twitter and Facebook and all that, but it's such a hassle just uploading it to one place, let alone 4 or 5.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, I know I missed it, but Bronson and Bark for me. I just gotta say this: like when I got into YouTube space, I was watching people like Harris Heller and certain guys. Harris. Yeah, and he's great, but they just have this. Even Tom Buck can be, and I love Tom Buck. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I'm just saying like he has his puns, but he never gets goofy. You know what I mean? He never just gets like slap happy silly.
Yeah.
And I was watching you and I saw you first and then I started watching Bronson. I was like, man, these guys are just like
a little bit unhinged.
All right. I'm just going to say it, balls to the wall, having fun.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, dude, that's how I would make a video. So I really got into you guys. Yeah. So you guys were more of an inspiration to me. Tom Buck is like the goal of how successful I would like to be, but I model my channel more after you and Bronson, just because you guys you can get serious, you can get goofy, get people to laugh, and it's I mean, honestly, at 90% of the reason I watch you guys is not for the microphone information. I just want to hang out with you guys. And oh, by the way, we're talking about microphones while we're here.
Yeah.
Right.
We got to do something. I mean, honest to God, I get sick of watching Mike videos.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm a big fan of Bandrew too. Like, super nice dude. Couldn't ask for somebody,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't know, but he's just a super nice dude. But I don't watch all his videos because even I'm like, there's only so much I can get out of a mic video. And truth be told, if I'm reviewing this mic right now, within the first 10 or 20 seconds, if you know what it sounds like, unless you really are into the whole plosive, off axis, all those tests, like, which I don't care because I'm not going to talk into the side of it like this.
Right.
Ever,
I hope not.
So really, I just want to know how it sounds, and then I'm checking out. So someone does have to bring something to the table for me to keep watching. And Bandrew does, just because he throws in little funny things here and there.
Yeah.
But I will say, for Tom, I think it's having different goals, I guess, through different creators. Like, I try to keep some professionalism, and my professionalism idol would be Tom.
Yes.
Like, you don't get any more professional. You don't put a video together about any audio or video topic as well as he does. Even his Enthusiasm Project podcast is just like totally enjoyable start to finish from a professional standpoint. Like, when you want information and you want just somebody who's kind of got a smile on their face, like, Tom's great for that. But you're right. I mean, he doesn't cut up that much. And
he's got a perfect blend.
He does.
I watch his videos from beginning to end. I never cut out or, clip a podcast. Is same with you. Is like, I'll watch for the first 10 minutes. And a lot of times I'll skip to the end for his overall and final thoughts.
I definitely can't watch 400 mic comparisons. I don't do that because I forget what the first one sounds like after the 18th.
I cut way back on,
but I like
how many
that
I did.
too. Like, if it's a mic I'm super interested in, like his video on this, I did want to hear all those comparisons. And like, I just don't have it in me to offer as much as those guys have to offer. Like, I've got a family, you got 8 or 10 minutes. I've got I got to make an 8 or 10 minute video and get the heck out. So that's where the goofiness comes in. It's like, all right, how am I going to get them to come back? Penis joke,
You have no idea how many we hear those in the pastor's office. I'm just telling you.
A lot of things you can't discuss because you're a pastor, correct?
Never. What happens in the office stays in the office.
Pastor-client confidentiality.
We're usually the first ones to the altar when the altar call goes, because we, anyways.
Genital jokes are not gonna, put you in an eternal life of damnation. I guarantee it.
Nope. If murder can still get you to heaven, then by God, a joke's not gonna.
Lord, forgive me, but don't forget you made me.
Right.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Bart, before we get too into it, I like to get a background of the person I have on. We've had Michael here before. We got his background. Can you kind of tell us about like where you're from, how you got started, and how you ended up doing all these reviews that you're doing now, if you don't mind?
That's pretty easy. So I'm from Southern Ohio, a little town called Jackson. About an hour and 15 minutes from Columbus, hour and 45 minutes from Cincinnati. So I'm kind of like in a centralized hub of two of the only good places to go in Ohio. That's not really true. There's plenty. But no, I don't know. I didn't have a hobby. I don't know about you guys, but I have not had a hobby my whole life until this audio stuff. I had nothing. Like, I played fantasy football like it was going out of style, and I thought that was kind of a hobby, and it was pretty much all I had to keep me entertained, besides being into music and movies and women and all that good stuff. So, I mean, I didn't know where I fit, and like, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? So I never really had a goal. I never really did well in college. There was no thing that I was like, this is what I want. I just wanted to have a good time, like, all the time. So the fantasy football thing, which was my only hobby, literally till I was, how long have I been doing this? What year is it? It's 2024, 2017, maybe. So 7 years ago, me and two buddies, played fantasy football like it's going out of style, and we played a format called Dynasty Fantasy Football, which Newman's very familiar with because we're in a league together. We're championship, me versus him later.
So excited.
Yes. But yeah, we heard about this podcast called The Fantasy Footballers. I don't know if you guys have heard of that one or not.
I have not.
It's a big one, big fantasy football podcast. I'm not so much into the fantasy football stuff like I used to be, but we played a dynasty format where you kept your players year round. You drafted rookies. It was like managing a team. Okay. And there were all these fantasy football podcasts that we listened to, but none of them were talking about our league format. So me and my buddies, Aaron, which I call Arms, and Chad, we decided, like, well, let's just start our own podcast. So I'm sure you guys have been there and done that. We buy some newer NW700s. We get
I got the 800 in there.
You got the nicer one.
The gold plated.
We got some boom arms, and actually, we all three got USB mics at first. And again, this is 7 years ago. We didn't know that you couldn't hook up 3 USB mics at once. I mean, I guess
where's that echo coming from?
Oh God, they wouldn't even work. I mean,
really?
I did all this research. Like, you got to have a Mac and you got to set up a virtual mic connection and blah blah blah. Never could get it to work. And so we ended up getting some newer NW700s and some boom arms. And funny story, shortly after starting our fantasy football podcast, probably haven't heard of this guy either, but we were big fans of the Time Suck podcast, which is hosted by a guy named Dan Cummins, who's a comedian. He's a comedian. He also does one called like Scared to Death or something like that with his wife. But his Time Suck podcast is massive. And he's a comedian that sells out, crowds all across the country. Like, we were fans and reached out to him to be on our podcast, and he agreed. So we had a comedian on our fantasy football podcast. And we talked to some players. Like, I had Steve Slayton on the show, who was a West Virginia running back that played in the NFL for the Texans and Dolphins.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah,
I remember him.
He's a nice guy. Adam Carricker came on the show, Washington Redskins defensive end. So that went really well.
Wow.
So this podcast happened. We built a following really quick, got monetized, had sponsorships. Like, it was going really well. Like, we were soaring up the charts, not to toot my own horn, but like, it was going really, really well. Like, we thought we might be able to just quit our jobs and end up doing this.
Very nice.
Well, it was nice until the pandemic happened.
Yeah,
so,
God.
2020 pandemic happened. No hatred on these guys at all. Everybody knows that I'm a very liberal person. These guys, my 2 best friends at the time, and still really good friends, they're very conservative. So we didn't fight, but it was like a battle of like, well, if you guys get the COVID shot, I'll do the podcast.
Oh, still.
No. And that was my rule. It just was. And they didn't buck against it or anything. They're like, nah, we want more information to come out. I was like, I completely understand. Like, you guys want to do it remotely, and we kind of messed around with it remotely. It didn't work. It didn't feel the same.
I thought you guys were like saying you just stopped talking or something.
Oh, no. That's the beauty of growing up in Southern Ohio. Even though I'm a very liberal person and my views and morals are very starkly different from a lot of what theirs are, we all three debate and we talk and we see each other's points, and it's what everyone should be doing, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I love it.
Yeah, and I love
over that stuff.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you should be able to have your own opinions and thoughts, and just don't push them on everybody. Yep. And if you're going to talk about them, talk respectfully, listen to each other.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
we had to deal with that with the church. Yeah,
right. And that's what we do. And that's how it is. And no, those guys are still very much my friends. We just don't hang out that much because we're all getting older and families are doing things. And my buddy Arms has softball. My buddy Chad's got softball. They're big time into softball coaching and stuff. And I'm out in the country in the middle of nowhere. But long story short, we did the podcast. Pandemic killed it. But after 1 year of doing the podcast, when it started taking off, I start, to start the podcast, I start watching who else but Bandrew, trying to get some mic recommendations. Like, I don't know anything about audio. I need someone to teach me. And there was Bandrew. So I was like, man, this is really cool that I can learn all this stuff from just some YouTube videos. And then I started noticing the differences in the mics he was using, and then listening to what he was saying about them. I was like, and it just kind of clicked. I was like, oh wow, that does sound sizzly up top, and this mic does sound kind of flat, because I was always into music and car stereos, so I understood EQ. And but yeah, he was doing all these really cool mics and expensive mics, and I was on eBay because I'm a tightwad looking at these, Radio Shack mics and these odd mics. I was like, why isn't there no information about these on YouTube? Like, who's doing that? And I could never find anybody, so I was like, I'll do it. So that's that.
You found an open market there, honestly.
A very niche open market that's never going to get me to the promised land, but that's okay. I will be known for something. I will never get paid that much for something, but I might be known for it. So,
but I think there's more people out there that are, when they're getting into it, they're going to relate more to a lower price microphone because most people, number one, now don't have like $500,000 to spend in a lot of stuff, so they're going to look for something that
get the fever.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're eventually going to get there, but starting out, no, that's for sure.
Yeah, most people don't want to spend $500 on a mic. I don't want to spend $500 on a mic. I don't want to spend $100 on a mic.
Yeah, that's something close enough. Yeah, I like they said this one for 37. I'm happy with it. So going back, so originally your podcast, originally your podcast. Exactly. Your original podcast, you're actually all in the same room then. Is that right?
And I think that's what made it so successful because everyone else was, besides the fantasy footballer guys, everybody else was doing remotely. And there's a disconnect,
Oh, there's a huge difference.
There is.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's what I was thinking on that. So that 2020 kind of put a hurting on everything. It's something
it did, but it was a good thing because I live by the idea that if you don't love what you're doing, it's not going to work.
Right.
And I don't love
passion for it.
Yeah. And I don't love that anymore. I couldn't sit and talk football like we used to for hours on end. It's just, this has taken over.
Yeah. Yeah. So you really don't have like an audio background then, like any kind of schooling or training?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Amateur.
Yeah, same here. That's sounding like a dumb question, probably, to you guys, but me, I kind of wonder this, like whenever you listen to reviews, it's imperative that you do have headsets on. Why does not a sound comparison sound as good, like on your sound bar, which has got the latest and greatest Dolby Atmos sound, that you can't really hear a difference between the microphones, but you put these headsets on, you can. I don't understand that. Can anybody explain that to me?
You got anything, Mike?
I don't know. It don't make sense to me.
I was talking to my rep at Sweetwater, not my personal rep. We at the church we spend a lot of money at Sweetwater. So there's a guy that I can call and ask him whatever question I want.
A nice store.
I brought it up. I was like, look,
I got one of those too. Who's your guy?
Ed Nystrom.
Okay. Mine's Mitch.
Okay.
Daisy.
And I was just asking, I was like, man, I'm always using my headphones, but man, sometimes I just want my ears to breathe. I know they don't breathe, but I just feel like they need to breathe. So I was like, I want to get monitors, and everybody's talking about the PreSonus or the 3-inch Mackies. Are they, I don't want to hear something in my studio and it not be accurate to what other people are hearing in their headphones. So where would you recommend me start if I were to get one? He's like, oh, no, you want to get up in that 300. And his reason was anything under $300, you're going to get good sound, but they don't give you all the frequencies, the mids, like all those special spots that a microphone may have a trouble area. So you might hear a good sound, but it's not picking up on that one part of if it's really strong or weak or having problems in like the 400 hertz range or the 1000 hertz range. Certain studio monitors on the cheaper end won't cover all of it. It kind of crunches it up, I guess. And he just said, if you really want to hear the fine detail, across the board, he said, you really need to spend money on that. He said, that's where the headphones come in because they're cheaper. It's easier to get higher quality in a headphone like the Rode NTH 100s. He was like, that's like $300 performance in a $150 set of headphones there. So he said, you go with the studio monitors, you're looking at $150 per speaker starting out, where you can get headphones for $150. That's what he told me. And like I said, I called him because I didn't really know how cheap I can go and why it mattered. And he kind of
I've always just wondered that because I was watching a guy back before I got this one, they had this and a couple of the microphones on. I was listening to it on my big screen, so I've got the Dolby Atmos, which is the best sound available right now, for movies and TVs. I couldn't tell difference. I come into my laptop, put these on, I can hear a difference in each one of them. It's like, that's weird, that sound bar is worth a lot more than this thing, but I can hear the difference in this, but can't on this. It just seems weird to me, but I guess I'm not an audio person either. So
I would say, I mean, for me, just my experience, as long as it's not on a phone speaker, I usually hear something. Like in my car, definitely 100%. Like usually I test a lot of mics while I'm at work. Like I'll go out in my car for 5 minutes, hook a mic up to my phone with the TC Helicon Go or whatever, and I'll play it back in my car as soon as I go home or have to run somewhere, whatever. And I always hear the difference there, and it's usually vague, like it's either bright or flat or boomy. So I mean, I can hear that in my car. I can hear it on my monitors. I can hear it on my sound bar on my work setup. Headphones definitely, but I will say the guy Mitch or not Mitch, but what'd you say his name was?
Ed. Yeah.
Ed, sorry. Yeah. I don't know. I've tried a ton of headphones, and maybe it's what you get used to, but I've got Bayer Dynamics in the studio. I've got a nice pair of Yamahas laying around here somewhere. I keep going back to these. These are like, what are these?
Yeah, I can't remember what my brand is either.
Sennheiser HD 439s. I had to find out what the HD 439 part was. But this brand new, I think these were, brand new, I think these were like 100, maybe $150 max, but now used on eBay, $30. I have never found a pair of headphones that I feel tells the story like these.
Cool.
Like out of all the headphones I've ever used, I have 3 pairs of these now, just in case one goes bad. And
that goes with what he said, though. You can find better deals with headphones that will get you the same information that a $300 that you would need to spend $300 or more on monitors to hear.
Right.
That's what he was saying.
Oh, okay. I thought he was saying you need a $300 pair of headphones. Or
no, opposite. Right. He was saying you could go cheaper.
Then I agree with him 100%. Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. But yeah, these things are just like, they're my go-to. I've tried to switch to so many other pair just because you get that in your head. Like, oh, these are cheap. I need to get, something that's expensive and will tell me the whole story. And I can't find anything like these that tell me what I need to know about each mic.
Yeah. These are one audio, not audio, but one audio.
I got a pair of those.
I went on Amazon, found them cheap, and the reviews sounded good that I seen online, so I went for them. They weren't very expensive either.
I had a pair of Exa for 2 years before I got these, and I liked those. Exas, AKSA. They're weird. They're gaming headphones, but I just happened to get a pair just to listen to movies. Someone recommended it was bassy and boomy or something, but it wasn't too much. And when I listened to microphone reviews, I was like, wow. Right. And when I go back to it, there's more detail in here, yes, on the higher and the high mids, but like it's pretty close. And those were like $50. You can get them for like $50-$60.
That's another thing I don't understand. Like gaming headphones, like what's besides possibly having a mic? What's the difference?
The ones that I tested, and I only had one, those fine A9s or something. Man, they are really high pitch. Like there's not a lot of boom unless like if you're in a game and there's an explosion, it comes out of nowhere. But when I tested mics on it, I felt like there was no bottom end on them whatsoever, unless I got like on the mic and creating a low end sound. So it was like high pitched to where you could hear footsteps and whispers. And like breathing, sometimes in some games you could hear the person if they're up close. You can hear like proximity effect in some games, or you could hear that. It just allows you to hear so much of that high end detail. Okay, but I did not like it at all with microphone testing at all. It was horrible.
It's hard.
Red Cabin. Go ahead. Yeah, Red Cabin Acoustic made a good point to think about this. Either headphones eliminate the room. You're not trying to fill such a big space. It's confined to. Didn't you think about that? Which should have been obvious, but it wasn't.
And I'll say too, Red Cabin Acoustic, which is Joe, who I've met, is a super nice dude.
Awesome dude.
If you've got audio questions that are like you need a real answer for,
right?
That he's a great one to go to.
Oh yeah,
he's a long-term radio guy. He's been doing this. He's been into audio for longer than anyone I know of in the YouTube space. So definitely you got a question, Joe is the dude.
I love him, man. He reached out to me, and he's been awesome behind the scenes.
He's a great guy. He's just like us, man. He just wants to find his people that share the same, interest and common thread. And he's a very good person.
Yeah. And Clay says we all sound good to him, so that's good. I don't think anybody's peaking or anything too bad, so that's good.
Good.
My air conditioner's on, so I don't know if you guys can hear it.
I actually don't hear it.
I don't hear it.
That's why I went with this, because this thing just completely knocks out anything to the left and right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a handheld fan, but I can't not use it, because whenever I've got fans and ACs on, you can never hear it. I mean, it's like 20 dB drop from anything like outside of this box. Crazy good.
I like handhelds, especially condensers. Yeah. So I keep telling myself I need to pick that one up, and I just keep forgetting that I
got to send it to you. I told you I was going to send it to you.
Oh yeah.
I got to get your address.
Then I'm just going to want to own it, I'm going to end up buying it.
Yeah. Clay said he had a pair of the one ODOs, and now he uses the switch to the Rode NTH 100s as far as the headsets.
Those are the new hotness, I think. I like Mike wears them, Clay wears them, Tom wears them. I've seen Bandrew wear them quite a bit. There's more. There's so many dudes doing audio stuff, and yeah, everybody's wearing those headphones.
Yeah, it's a common thing. That must be good. That's how you look at it too. People are using them, then they're going to have some good to them.
I want them, but I know that I'll go back to these things. So it's like, why bother?
Yeah,
right. I hear you. So,
and plus, it's a control variable for you, like where Bandrew always tests everything against the Newman, just because he knows it's always in there.
Yeah.
For you, you've always used those headphones, so you're gonna pick up on something that might sound different just because you're used to hearing it through those headphones.
Yeah, and I've had the most people agree with how I perceive sound when I wear these, and the times that I've wore Bayer Dynamics in it, I've had people be like, I heard this and not that. I disagree with you a little bit. I'm like, you know what? Probably the darn headphones.
I would like to go back to my PD200X and see if I was wearing my EXA headphones. Because I'm so different on it now, and I don't use these headphones.
That mic doesn't sound bad. Yeah. Like, it's decent. I mean, I thought it was good enough when I checked it out, but it's not anything special either.
And I was like, man, this is the closest thing to perfection you can get for under $100.
We all have those.
No. That's like, now it's like the pizza from elementary school. It's good, but it ain't great, but it's good in its own cheap way.
Back in the day, you ate it up.
Yeah. I like that school pizza. I bought some of those the other day.
Bring back memories of that. And they usually come with that, like for dessert, you always had that little slice of like peanut butter candy or dessert, or it was little square
peanut butter bar.
That was a kid's crack
on top.
Yes, oh my gosh, was that good?
That was the kid's crack, because man, people could get like real sneaky and become like dealers. They found ways to get like a bunch of it and then sell them, trade stuff for them.
Yeah,
I'll never forget those things, because one of the pitchers on our high school baseball team balled one up, fastballed it, smacked me right in the forehead with it.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
And he was someone I got along with, but everybody's like, what are you going to do about that? And I was like, I guess I'm going to beat him up on the stairwell after this is all over. That is what happened.
Attacked by the peanut bar.
Yeah.
I love those things, man. You come home with like a shoe missing. Mom's like, where's your shoe go? I wanted an extra peanut butter bar thing.
Totally worth giving one of the Jordashes away for that.
Yeah, that's funny looking back at some of that stuff, because kids they ain't gonna know that stuff nowadays. They don't have it like we did sometimes. A lot of sometimes those simpler days were better in many ways.
Where do you live, Chad?
I'm in Indiana, so I'm not too far from where you were born.
You're not too far. See, we do still have all that. Like, my kids eat the school pizza. They've got the peanut butter bars.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I live in the land of no change. So
nice.
Our kids are spoiled. They get like Chick-fil-A one day,
what?
diners one day.
Oh my!
But parents have to pay for you send in $5, but for $5 you get a $10 Chick-fil-A lunch or something.
Nope. My kids still complain like, it's taco boat day. I don't want a taco boat.
Yeah. Our kids get like every day of the week we bring in something from outside, so you can pack your lunch or you can buy, and I think it's like $5 if you want to buy the meal for the day.
That's highfalutin.
I know.
Yeah,
it's not fair.
Yeah,
we couldn't eat anything different until we got to senior year. We was able to eat out for lunch when you're seniors. That's about the only time we was able to eat anything else besides school lunches, unless you brought in your own, I guess. But.
How are you supposed to mollywop someone if you don't have a peanut butter bar to throw at them?
Right. That's the new one right there. Oh, so Bark, how many microphones do you think you've got now? Have you ever counted, or is it too many to?
I've never counted. Oh god,
Mike had a bunch.
Oh god.
Here, let me hold on. I'll get you a little. My studio is a mess.
Same here.
We're gonna turn the camera.
We're gonna do a panorama.
We're gonna pan it. Let's see which way we go in here.
I've got a clean corner behind me, and the rest of it's just upside down. Oh, yours is way better, cleaner than mine.
Oh, mine's a hot mess, dude. No.
Yours is still stacked. Mine's not stacked. It's piles.
That's
it's like the movie Dune for audio gear in my room, like just sand dunes everywhere.
I don't know. That's most of them residing in those shelves.
Now, are those unreviewed or reviewed?
Yeah,
most of those are unreviewed.
Oh my lord.
I'm in a bit of trouble.
I'd have a personality, like a psychotic break if I looked at that.
Yeah.
When I say in my videos, I got a stack over here and I got to get to them, I'm talking like 5, and you got a wall.
Yeah, I would guess I'd probably put it at 100.
Wow.
I would say maybe that might be.
And you've given quite a bit away.
I might be generous. I have, and I sell a lot because I can't. Dude, this is like a 12 by 16 building that is turned into a little studio. But I don't have room for much.
That's how I fund half my stuff.
It's hard to sell some of them though, unless you're willing to just let go of them for almost next to nothing, and then you can't buy new ones. And most of these were not sent to me. Most of these were, I got to have that one for a review that I'll get to in 2032. I've had mics in here for up to 5 years that I bought to review and I haven't got to them yet. So,
right. Wow.
The goal is to do them all. So I will either do them all or die trying.
You put an R on the box or something after you review them, or they're review because they're open.
I've got a little tower next to me. Like a cheap tower I bought off Amazon, and it's got all of the high priority needs reviewed stuff on it. They usually have, and I try to make a couple shelves over here a sell when done, but it gets messed up and mixed up. My wife can't stand it. She's so organized. She's a homemaker like Clay's wife, and she's got her QuickBooks out. She's detailing every little thing. She's inventory. She is, well, like you said, your wife was, Mike. She is just, if I needed to hire someone to take care of this for me, it would be my wife. I am the complete opposite. I am haphazard, unorganized. I'm a mess. So it's a mess.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
But you know where everything is, though. That's what matters.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay.
Oh God, no. I'm still looking for things. I've got this little lightning adapter that it's from Ceramonic that I can use to plug mics in, and this I can't find it. I've been looking for it forever. No, I lose stuff all the time. I bought a Ceramonic lav mic. Ceramonic sent me this little handy recorder with a lav mic. I lost it, so I had to buy it to do the review, and then I found the other one 6 months later.
Of course.
So yeah. Too. No, I'm terrible.
Okay.
Terrible. One day I'll open a drawer and be like, "Oh my God, that's where that mic is that I bought 3 years ago." Yeah.
Ceramonics pretty
stuff
decent
when I don't need it.
The Ceramonics are pretty decent. I got these little. I've had these for a while. The wireless lavaliers. These things actually sound pretty darn good for being I don't know, $20, $30 if that. Very good sound little microphones. And I am going to switch to the Hollyland Lark M2s. Those things.
Oh, I want that. I've been into those things lately. I've got 5 sets.
The Mark IIs.
Yeah, the Lark Mark. Yeah.
This style, I don't know why. I hated them for so long. I was like, they don't sound good. This is just a random, but you know what I mean? Like the little square lav clip on with the receiver.
Yeah.
Hated these things.
I use them every week. I love them.
I love them now. All of a sudden, I'm like, these are so convenient.
Yeah, I mean, at the church, I make all our videos, our promotional videos, our announcement videos, like anything video related, Mother's Day, like whatever we put on the screens on TV, I'm the one that makes the video. So I use lav mics like crazy, and wireless transmitters for the camera. So man, what cracks me up is I'll switch between the Rode Wireless Goes to the Hollyland Lark Max, which is like what I know they come down, but I think they were $300 when they first come out. And then I'll switch to the Comica the next week, and nobody knows the difference.
No, because I mean, there's no Randy Rector, who I really enjoy on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have watched him or not. He does audio stuff and mic stuff, and he did a little short on Twitter, X, whatever the heck you want to call it, and it was between 4 of those things. One of them was the Hollyland, one of them was a Comica, I think, and one was a Rode Wireless Pro 2 or something like that. The Rode kind of sounded deep and heavy, but the rest of them sounded almost identical.
Yeah,
like they do. It's hard to, and that's why I didn't like them for so long. Like, you're never going to clip one on and hear this. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
It's about accepting that that's not what they are. You know, they're a whole different ball game altogether. But some of them sound. I've got a Ceramonic Blink Me B2 that I could record all the time with those. I think they sound really good. But
when I use my Rode Wireless Goes, and I'll use a Rode lav mic to go with it, it's got a deeper sound. I think Rode has the deeper, bassier sound. And like when I ask them though, like, all right, the last 3 weeks, they'll notice, they know that I've changed them up, but they can't tell me which one was the more expensive one. They just know it's a little different. But so it's like when someone asks, which ones do I get? Dude, get yourself some Comicas. Nobody can even tell me which one was the more expensive one when I put the 3 together.
Yeah, you really can't. I mean, even like all this comparison, just like you think you listen to the top of the line, and it usually ends up being the lower price one or one of the medium of the line.
It's the K669D syndrome.
Yeah, right. that's for sure.
I tried to do that Rode NT1 signature series, and everybody wanted me to go back to the K669D because they liked it better. Come on, man! I just bought this.
I know. I felt bad for you too, because you just got that. You decided it was all colorful looking in there, and then everybody was wanting that back to the fine.
That's the thing, man. Even when people think that they like a flat sound or the SM7B sound, like you hear that K669D and it's so clear and concise, and it's hard to, I don't know, man. Out of all my microphones I own, I would put that in the top 10 of all my keeper mics.
And like you said that, and you're the one that brought this out. First off, you're the one that like released the K669 to the world, because Fine didn't do anything. Like, they didn't announce it was out. I had no idea it existed until you made your video.
I don't even think they sent me that one. I think I bought it.
Yeah, you found
it and bought it.
Yeah, and I went to Fine's website. It wasn't on their website yet. Had to go like page 2 on Amazon to find it after you did your video. And then I forgot, well, idiot, he has a link on his page. So let me go back. I clicked your link, got it, and I bought it before the end of your video. But yeah, and then you talked about the Shure SM7B pop filter on it, and it's just magic.
Oh yeah, the big
chunky monkey there. Yeah,
it just takes that little tiny bit off the top that just makes it kind of like, ooh, it's a little bit magic now. It's like $32 of magic, and that's the one you dropped on your stairs and stepped on, right?
Yeah,
they put it right in front of my door, and I come running out the door, and I crashed, and I crushed the box, and nothing happened.
Well, no, it's just I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like a nuclear warhead shell with a capsule in it.
Yes. I love it. Yeah. And I used to be high on mono because at least they had a metal body compared to Fine's plastic ones. But it, like, you were like one of the first ones to say it. Like, it's metal, but it ain't a great metal. But it was like better than plastic. And then Fine says, fine, we'll one up you. We'll make a tank.
I think the 200X has a plastic base on it, though. Yeah. Because that was one of the big complaints too. People heard when I first looking at it, people were talking about that was probably the only down thing that they saw to it was the plastic base or whatever you want to call it, where it goes in there. But
it's kind of rough. Like those companies make good stuff for the money, but if you really dig in, like nobody's holding a candle to Fine right now, as far as like cheap budget mics, especially. I don't know about the interfaces. I'm not that impressed with their interface, but
I'm not either, because I'm glad you mentioned that, because before I had this one, I used their it was at the SC3.
Yeah.
and I was doing a podcast with Kurt Crucial from the 80s Life, and he, before we went on, was testing our audio, and he's like, I hear an echo in there, and I had to, now if I turn my headphone gain down, or not the gain but the headphone volume, he quit hearing it. So I thought something in there was not working good, and if I turned it up, he'd hear it again. So I said, I'm gonna try something different. Then I come across this Vocaster 1 by accident, and I'm glad I got it. I
better be glad now too. Did you notice the price changed today? Clay told me.
No, what did it go to?
Vocasters went back to normal. The Vocaster 1 is back to 150, and the 2 is back to 250.
Except in the EU on like Thomann, it's still $49. But you gotta, you'll have to place an order big enough to justify the $30 in shipping. But
right.
That's why I didn't need it. But I've got one sitting new in a box from B&H over there, just because I was like, how could I not buy one again? Like I got rid of my other one.
That's what the one is, 159, Mike?
It's back to 149. Yeah.
Wow. I bought this for 99, and then about 2 weeks after that, I saw you had posted that the 2 was $99, and this was even cheaper than that. So I was like, oh well, I don't need the 2 right now. But I'm glad.
It's worth it at the original prices. So when they're coming down that far, it's like, dude, I might as well just have one new in a box just for a rainy day.
And Clay reached out. He's like, why do you think they dropped it so low to bring it back? I said, well, no one was buying it, and it's so good that you bring it down low enough where people will finally buy it. Now they're using it. Now they're promoting it, because it's one thing for, to just have an advertisement or them push it. But when you get a movement from creators saying, dude, this thing is freaking awesome. That's
supply
how you
demand,
start.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah. But there's no greater sale than from creators who have no stake in the game, saying this is awesome, but there weren't enough creators out there using them.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
And now they can do what they did at first and drop it from 149 to 99, and people are going to be like, don't know if it'll ever get lower than that again. I better jump on it. And then a few months later, it'll be 49 again. And, they'll just complete that cycle, just kind of like what Amazon does. So,
yep.
Yeah, I remember like when I was looking at interfaces, I saw it, but I thought, well, that looks weird. I don't think I want that. That looked kind of cheesy or cheap. So I would not even really look at the specs of what it really was, because I was looking kind of for the old style of one, like the Focusrite or something. That's kind of what I was looking for. And then I come across this one guy's site. I can never remember his name, but he talks monotone. He sounds like Chris Bumstead, the classic bodybuilding champion for like 10 years in a row, I think. But he sounds like him, kind of got a lisp, but man, the guy is sharp and knowledgeable. And then he had this thing on, and I just messaged him. I said, hey, I was looking at the Focusrite or this one. He says, because I told him what I do, just do podcasts. He goes, don't bother with the Focusrite, just get the Vocaster 1. That's all you're going to need. It'll make you sound like a charm. It's the best for voice. And I went with it, and that's why I like these creators, because you can reach out to them and they're going to respond, and that's how you learn and get the good deals on the products. So I think I made a darn good purchase, but actually I never heard of it until him, and I listened to his review. So like you said, I think Mike, you said, didn't you try your phone on it yet? Have you done that?
Yeah. Yep.
That's how I used to, when I was doing the videos with the TV behind me, probably the last, before I moved here and did this whole setup, a year before this, I was using the Vocaster 1 or 2, one or the other. I had both of them. And it was just running into a Samsung phone, and that was recording my video and the audio going straight to the phone while it was recording. So yeah, it worked like a charm.
I think your video, when you mentioned that, was what led me to go buy the Vocaster 1.
Yeah. I mean, it just, I always want to do as simple as possible. And I, webcams didn't quite get the quality of like a Samsung Galaxy S20 or whatever I was using. And I was like, well, why don't I just use this and run the Vocaster phone jack out into it? And man, it worked great for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if these new smartphones nowadays, the cameras on those things it's incredible.
Clay's doing, he's using
that's all he uses.
Those look great.
Just ask my wife.
Yeah,
she called me. She's sitting right next to me, and she's looking at my picture and Clay, and she's like, "His looks better than yours. What's going on here?" And I'm like, oh.
I thought about it. I did have one time just for fun. I was messing around. I took my Action 4 and used it as a webcam for a little bit, but this is too much work. I thought, I bought the ankle work.
I used a GoPro for a little bit, but it overheated way too much.
the C310. That's what I'm using now. And this thing, I think it looks darn good for like $80 when I got it.
A lot of people like that one too.
Yeah, it got good reviews on it. So
I didn't. I just switched to an iPhone not that long ago. I've used Androids for like 15 years, but I had an old iPhone that I was using for audio tests, and I left it on accident in my little studio. And when I went to record, I opened up OBS and went to record with my Insta360 or whatever. And all of a sudden my phone started dinging like crazy. And I was like, what the heck is that? And I OBS popped up and was like, do you want to use this? I'm like, what the heck's going on? And this just wirelessly connected to OBS. And I was like, oh crap.
Did you download anything to do that?
No.
Mine's doing the same thing. Like I go in my bedroom downstairs and I'll know if I left OBS on my computer up here in the studio.
Wow.
Because I'll be in my bedroom, I'll hear this ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
It says, do you want to connect? I'm like,
if I could go back and do it all over again, I would have just mounted my phone up to record me and had OBS to monitor. Because that was kind of the hard thing when I used to use the phone to do it, was like making sure everything was square, because I couldn't see what I was recording because I wanted to use the back cameras and get the best quality. But shoot, you can, this is now my overhead cam. I just overhead this on the unboxing, and
that's what I've been using.
It's fantastic. I mean, it's just awesome. I would have switched to iPhone a long time ago and quit being so snobby if I hadn't known that.
I know. I want that Bronson B-roll quality, but man, it's just so much easier to slap your phone in the groove and just rock it.
We all want that Bronson B-roll quality, but like I don't have the time for that.
I can't either. I can't do it.
And I hate cameras. So
you don't plan on reviewing cameras anytime soon?
No, I hate them. I absolutely hate them. I've bought so many mirrorless cameras and everything else, and tried to record with them. And at one time I had a picture the way I wanted it to be, and I came back to record the next day and it looked different. And I was like, what the heck happened? And I would rather, that's what I love about phones and cameras like this. Like, there's that, what do they even call it? I don't know. Smart, I guess. It just smartly adjusts things for you.
And now they come even with bokeh.
Yeah, now they come with bokeh, which I don't care about bokeh either, but I just don't care about cameras. Like when you can get good picture quality out of, I like the way my videos look, and it's a freaking webcam. It's a good one.
I tried to go webcam
when I paid $300 for a webcam, but it was worth
it. That's a little pricey, but continuity camera feature with iOS. Clay's saying,
yeah, that's what he uses and what you can do with an iPhone. It's just
because he does look really crystal clear. I mean, it's You
yeah,
would know
it's hard to argue, man. The only thing is just if I was to do that full time, I'd need two phones. I wouldn't want my phone tied up recording me. Like if my wife messages me or something important happens, like I don't want it recording me and I can't do anything about it. So
yes, I'm kind of different from everybody here. I shoot a lot of on location videos. I go to a lot of locations and do behind the scene type stuff. And I didn't want to use my phone all the time because somebody's going to call or text. So that's why I bought an action camera. And I bought a cheap XTU budget camera because I wanted to save money. And I tell people now, don't do it. Save up your money. Don't waste your time. Any of those budget cameras, they're junk. The stabilization on them is not good. The audio sucks. I hate being blunt, but I'm just saying they're no good.
If there's one thing you can't skimp on, it is a
audio.
Yeah.
Get the DJI Action 4, the best camera. It don't have the heating issues that GoPro does. It don't shut off on you. And it's just, I love this little thing. I praise about it every time I talk to Mike. This is what I shoot all my location videos on, and it does the microphones on these are just, it's incredible, the internal mics on this, but I still wanted some externals in case you get in some noisy areas, you like around a lot of traffic or whatever, you want that so you don't hear all that as much.
My Sony ZV-E10 overheats, and that's not supposed to overheat.
No,
I didn't think those did.
I had to get a fan from Mark Bennett. I was reaching out to him because I remember him saying something about it, and he sent me, I think he sent me a link. But anyways, he link to his video, and it was a fan that you can plug in USB-C to the back of it to keep it from shutting off. But yeah, it's like in the summertime, I'm using more webcams now. It's why I was late getting on here. I was trying to use a webcam, and I was trying to run multiple webcams in through my Matrix here, and my Matrix that acted up on me. But anyways, my webcams don't overheat.
Yeah,
that's why I stick with these for my outdoor shooting.
Those are getting bigger and bigger everywhere I go, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Camcorders, yes. I went to a larger church yesterday because we're building a new building across the street, and we went to a place that has like 8,000 people. And you're walking in there thinking they're going to have the big boxy cameras and stuff like that.
Right.
And they did in their ones, but the other sanctuary they had a Panasonic camcorder. And the video looked great. They were showing us their video footage, powering it up. I was like, dude. So yeah, camcorders, a lot of places are using them now. It's just so easy to use, and it's so clear.
Yeah.
What brand is that you got there?
It's Panasonic. It's a HC VX981
4K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has that got night vision on it?
No, but it does have, well, I don't know.
Infrared or night vision?
It's got a light. So it does, it pops the light on if you're in dark places, but
Okay,
I don't really use the 4K. I just do 1080p 60, but I love that thing. Like now again, the reason I hate cameras is because I'm a budget guy and you can't go budget on a camera. You just can't.
I agree with you. I've tried and I'm just not happy with it.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. Like now, if budget to you is like $200-$400, yeah, sure you can. But budget to me is like $100 or less.
Yeah.
We're paying like $300 webcam. That's not a budget camera to me. That's oh crap. I'm out $300. And this is the only other big purchase. This was like these are like $799.
Yeah. I
got it on offer up for like $450, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, and I about puked doing that, but I was like, I need one thing, that I can use outside or on location, because with what we were talking about with the lav mics and stuff,
right?
Yeah,
got to do outside tests with those. That's what they're kind of meant to go everywhere. So I was like, I need a camera for those. I don't want to use my phone. So yeah.
There's
the only good camera I'll ever own.
There's a local video production company that the school district in the city that I live in, they're using a production company, and he uses that Panasonic camcorder 4K for a lot of their promotional videos, and they loved it so much they they reached out to me like, hey man, Panasonic, what do you think? I said, dude, everywhere I go, everybody's that got one that is good, it's a Panasonic. That's all I know. I said, but if you go there, and I think it's the one you have right there, I said it's like $800 brand new, $700-$800.
That's like the big,
yeah, and it looks just like
good
that.
Budget one.
Yeah. And it just does such a good job. And it's
if
you don't know anything about video, you're gonna get good video out of that.
Yeah. And that's why I bought it. Like Marcus Picks, a YouTube channel called Marcus Picks, who's this.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, he loves this camera along with some Sonys and stuff. He's a big camcorder guy too. And like if he says it's the way to go for what I was looking for, I was like, I'll just do that. I'll listen to this dude, and paid off.
Yeah, it's popping up everywhere lately.
Back to the retro review says, write it off as a business expense. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah. Yeah,
what?
There you go.
I don't keep track of any of this. I can't do any business expenses.
Oh, it saves me.
I admit the last time we did taxes, like the guy, he probed me, no pun intended. He for business expenses and stuff. And I gave him as much as I possibly could. But yeah, he's like, if you don't have receipts, I was like, well, I don't, because I throw everything away. So I didn't save too much of my taxes trying to do that. But
I just printed up all my bank records, my Amazon sales and receipts and stuff like that.
Now, do you have an accountant, Mike, to do all that? 'Cause that stuff scares me.
I use a Cash App card. I have a Cash App account. So anytime I do anything, I buy it through that. That way there's a record and it's separate from my personal stuff. That's about as technical as I get. But I went from having to pay like $2,000 last year to breaking even simply off what I bought on YouTube last year. So I'm not making a profit, but it kept me from having to pay for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I need to do better about that, because I mean this year was better than the last two. I had to pay, and then this year we actually got a refund, and it was probably because I gave as much information. And luckily I have all the shipping costs from where I ship stuff out. Like, that's all centrally located, and I use one credit card for everything I purchase. So
it's the only time I'm a hero with my wife. She's like, all year long, she's like, what are you buying this time? What's this? What's this? Oh, do you really need that? Do you really need that? I need to review it. Do you really need to review the expensive stuff? Yes, I do. Yeah. And then all year long, she rides me. And then tax time, I'll come in like, red cape rolling in. all these receipts down, and we're back to zero. Like, what now?
Right. You didn't believe in me.
I
showed you.
Get a little chesty, and then she knocks me back down.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Proja might be what she had said.
What she
said. Yeah, the IRS is some scary stuff.
Never ever did I think that a few "that's what she said" jokes would resonate with.
Oh my gosh! I saw a YouTube short from The Office. That what she said highlights over the years.
Yeah.
And I have it. I gotta send it. I meant to send it to you the other day.
I'm sure I've seen it because I love The Office. So
I think that's where it originated from.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that's where it originated from, so to speak, but that's
where it got popular.
Yeah.
And then you sang something the other day. Get that thing away from me. That's what she said. But I don't remember the way you sang it.
In the tone of Nirvana.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I listened to that, and she was cooking. I come downstairs, and I'm just like, get that thing. And she's like, what are you singing? I'm like,
it got stuck in my head.
Yeah.
My kid heard me doing it. So he was like, do that song, Dad. Like, get that thing away from me. I'm like, no, I can't do that song. Like, stop. Don't tell your mother anything about this song. Just stop.
I sang it for an hour and a half downstairs as I was cleaning the house as she was cooking. She's like, would you please stop? I can't help it. Yell at Mark. He's the one who did it to me.
They call that an earworm, don't they? Get a song stuck in your mind. Did I miss what we were talking on tonight? I don't think so. No, we're just kind of going on about anything, really. Talked about microphones, talked about Bark's background for a little bit, a little bit of camera talk and stuff like that. So since we're talking about comedies, what's your favorite comedy of all time?
Ooh, you go first, Mike.
Airplane. I only there's funnier movies, but I've never quoted a movie as much as that one. Like the one-liners out of it.
It's hard to beat, isn't it? I mean,
you guys are a little older than me.
There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good ones too. I mean,
that's before my time.
You got them at the original Vacation.
47.
The original Vacation was good.
I'm only 47. Airplane was before my time, but it was a classic. Spaceballs, I probably put number 2.
I didn't like. See, yeah, I did.
No,
I've seen Spaceballs once, and I did not laugh very much. I didn't enjoy it. But my wife, it's like you probably saw that when you were younger, and I have this theory that if you didn't see some of these movies when you were younger, they don't hit the same. Like my wife loves Tommy Boy. I think Tommy Boy sucks. I mean, I don't like it. I didn't think it was that great, but I didn't watch it till I was in my 30s, late 30s. So, and my favorite comedy, even though there's funnier out there, it's the most quoted, and Happy Gilmore. I used to go to sleep to that movie. Like I would watch Happy Gilmore every night when I was going to bed. And
Adam Sandler's money.
He was. And but it's all about Shooter McGavin for me. Anytime I did anything in my life that I accomplished, like if I did, like if I had turned a report in and was a great reporter, worked in sales once, led the company in sales, like Shooter, that's my go-to.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber, that was a pretty good one too.
He understands. Are you too good for your home? Go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber's pretty funny. We hear the most annoying sound. He's got that guy in the middle of them.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber,
yeah, it was pretty funny. Like so, you got to like the Vacations; they're hard to beat. Especially the
Vacation. It's been a long time since I've seen the first Vacation, but
yeah,
I definitely am a comedy person. I prefer comedy overall because I, don't like to get serious. I don't want to get like. Sometimes we'll watch Law and Order, and I'll be like, "Oh God, a kid got killed. My heart hurts so bad. Can we watch Happy Gilmore?"
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You want to take so much of that.
Everybody's always serious, and everybody's looking to fight about something or get into an argument about something. I just want to watch comedies.
Yeah, I just want to laugh.
Stupid comedies. Like I want to watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, not because it's meant to be funny. It's funny because it's just absolutely horrible. And I laugh because of how horrible it is.
Right.
I don't know what it is, but there's just certain movies where I want to watch something that you just can't take seriously because it's so awful.
What about TV show, comedy wise? What do you think of the movies? What about TV shows?
I've got a lot. There's just so many. Right now, I'm into Community and Ted Lasso.
I've yet to get into that one yet.
I
haven't started it yet. Yeah, I haven't started watching it yet.
It's up there.
Is it?
It's like all time. And there's a little bit of drama in it, but it's impressive. I mean, it's just really, really impressive. But Frasier's one of my favorite. How I Met Your Mother is up there.
That was a good one its time. I enjoyed that one too.
Yeah, I think Friends is funny. A lot of people disagree.
Oh, every day.
I think Friends is good.
It's on every night when I go to bed. My wife loves it. So every night for 2 hours, I watch Friends.
Yeah,
mine's a tie. I
got
a tie.
Golden Girls. Got to put Golden Girls in there.
Yeah, that is fun. I don't care how old you are. That show is
Golden
funny.
Girls is great.
My tie, and I don't think the comedy would ever be beat until it came out, is Seinfeld and The Big Bang Theory. Those two just
Big Bang Theory.
I can't stop. I can watch. I mean, we all love
great.
Penny. I mean, she's beautiful, so we like that. But it's so freaking funny.
Oh, it's
I mean, because that's the kind of humor that you don't have to think about. You just hear it.
Raymond
It's
is
funny.
good.
Yeah, Raymond. That's another good one.
I don't like Seinfeld, but I can't stand Jerry Seinfeld. So
I couldn't either. And it was Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Kramer in Seinfeld.
I can't watch any of it because I just can't stand. The only time Jerry Seinfeld's voice doesn't aggravate me is when he's a bumblebee. That's the only time.
Another B movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that one. Yeah. For me, I love watching the old school classics where, politically correct is out the window.
Oh, a lot of shows back then that could not be made today. All in the Family would never be made. That's another one. Yeah.
All in the Family.
Son.
The Jeffersons.
Yeah, Sanford
and Son. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an old classic.
Yeah. And I love all that too, and it's one of those things like some people just refuse to I can't watch that. It's too this or that. I get it. Like we have moved in a different direction. And I think that's fine. I mean, progress is progress, it's
right.
Inclusivity is inclusivity, but
right.
You just have to be, it's already happened.
Yeah.
So why hate on stuff? Like I love the Chappelle Show. My God, I love the Chappelle Show.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he was good.
And that show was so freaking. That show would not last a minute today. I mean, you had a black Klansman. It wouldn't last a second. But my God, if it wasn't the funniest crap ever, I'm gonna throw Who's Line in there too. I used to love Who's Line.
Oh, I still watch that. Yeah,
me too.
On YouTube all the time.
Yep.
And you mentioned,
I die. I mean, I'm like I can't breathe when I'm watching that show.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Take a breath, Mike. Take a breath.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Frasier, like you see behind me here. Cheers. I love. It's kind of hard to point behind.
I have not seen Cheers, and I'm going.
Cheers.
I'm going to, but
Frasier started on that show.
Yeah, I knew. I do know that. I've seen bits and pieces, but never.
Yeah, when he spun off, I thought he's never going to make it. But my God, he did.
Dude,
that show was just
that
good.
Show was fantastic.
Now, to me, I think his brother made the show.
I agree.
He was hilarious.
Niles,
it seems like sometimes the main people don't make the show. Like I love Seinfeld, but to me, George made that show. If George was not on it, I don't think it would have went as far as it did.
Yeah,
you got Frasier. I think his brother was the funniest. And Everybody Loves Raymond. Again, Raymond's brother to me was the funniest.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Because sometimes his facial expressions.
I think Frasier was great, but Niles was better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're all good, but I think sometimes he's the side characters, whatever, kind of make the show. To me, it's pretty.
Modern Family, got to throw that out there as a, I think that's Ed O'Neill's gold. Anything Ed O'Neill does is gold to me.
Man, I'm trying to think. I can't remember the name of the show, but it was Al Bundy. Why can't I remember the show?
Married with Children.
Married with Children.
Yeah, yes, I watched that. My wife is big on podcasts and reading books, and sometimes she'll just do her own thing. And when she does her own thing, like my go-to shows currently are Modern Family and Married with Children. So I wasn't even planned, but whenever she's out of the room, I'm watching Ed O'Neill or Al Bundy in one way or another, whether it's on Modern Family or Married with Children.
Great guy. Yeah. Love it.
And sometimes Coach was pretty good. Sometimes it got a little too serious for comedy, but I enjoyed that show very much.
Yeah.
I watched it. I never lost it laughing, but I watched it.
No, yeah.
So funniest show I've ever seen. I almost forgot because it's not talked about very much, but the hands down funniest character and funniest show I have ever seen in my life is Reba.
Reba. Yeah. Oh, the son-in-law.
Yes, Van. He is to me, he's hands down the creme de la creme of sitcom characters.
Yeah.
His acting, his facial acting was like second to none in my opinion.
There's some people
I saw him on Sons of Anarchy, and I was like, "Oh, this is great." Now
she's like one of the few country like singers that was a better actor than a singer, and she's like
she could sing though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hall of Fame singer, like she's amazing and like front runner, awesome, Reba.
Yeah,
and she was an even better actor.
Roseanne was good.
Yeah,
how's that song go? I've never listened to Reba, and my wife's like, "You need to listen to this song," and it's like the whole I can't remember the name, but it's like. Don't let me down.
Fancy.
That is one hell of a song.
Yeah, fancy.
And I was like, I didn't know Reba was capable of that. I just thought she was 90s Reba that was just like down in the bucket.
No, she got sassy in her songs, man. She had some
she was storytelling in the 80s, and I was like, dang, this is good stuff.
Yeah,
Van. See, Clay knows. Van is Reba. Yep.
Yeah, there's certain parts in certain shows that nobody else could play. Like in Big Bang Theory, nobody could do Sheldon. I don't care. There's nobody that could have done it like him. He was a perfect cast for that. Some of the other ones could have been replaced, but Sheldon, no, there's no way could have done it to me like him. There's just no way. He was just too good on that. I mean, that show it's just so awesome. I've probably seen every episode 50 times, read you line per line, but I still laugh like I just never seen it.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. It's a great one.
What was your favorite Big Bang Theory episode? Do you have one?
Me, I tell you, one of the funniest ones I think was probably back when. Are you familiar with the show, Mike? Okay, I think it was in season 4 when Priya came back and was trying to hide it from Sheldon and everybody else and stuff. And when they were sitting there, I'll just quote the line because it cracks me up. But they was all sitting at the dinner table, and Penny come over to wait on him, and they introduced her to Priya and everybody. And he says, I hope I don't screw it up. He says, Priya, he says, if you're feeling a little uncomfortable or uneasy or something like that, it might be the fact that Leonard and Penny, if I may quote Howard, used to do the dance with no pants. Oh my gosh. Because Leonard Sheldon had no filter. He had no common sense when it come to, human relations. But that episode was the funniest one. I mean, it's just, it's like, she tried out for a part, and he says, she said ended up being a porno, and she said, well, did you get the part? And she said, I didn't try out. And he's like, well, considering your career right now, can you afford to be picky? He doesn't, his filter is just not there. That's why I think it's so funny.
Yeah.
But that was my favorite episode. I can't remember. I think it was late in season 4, I think it was, or 5, something like that, somewhere in that area.
I just found out the other day, which I haven't watched Young Sheldon. My in-laws
That's a good one.
Say it's great. I've seen a few episodes, but we didn't stick with it because we have so many other shows to finish first. But I had no idea until recently that the mom on that was what's her name from Roseanne. I didn't know that was her
daughter. Roseanne.
Yeah, Sheldon's mom in Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, is Roseanne.
His mom in Young Sheldon was his mom's. So it's like mother-daughter that played Sheldon's mom's younger and older version.
That's pretty cool.
I can't remember her real name, but yeah, and like
together.
I can't
the
either.
Few episodes I saw of Young Sheldon, I was like, man, she's got the character of his mom down. It's like, well, yeah, because it's her daughter, so it makes sense.
Absolutely.
What about real quick, since we were on that? What about a serious movie? Even though me and Mike just like to laugh all the time, what's you guys' favorite movie that's not comedy? Silence.
Man, well, you're not talking like an action film, right?
Non-movie hero.
Anything non-comedy movie that like you could watch at any given moment.
I tell you, when I could watch anytime at all is probably A Few Good Men. Love that show. Absolutely love that show.
I think I've seen it.
It's great. Got Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, Kevin Bacon's in it. There's a lot of stars in it. Kiefer Sutherland's in it. And the guy that plays Tom Cruise's best friend, his assistant lawyer in there, he's been in a lot of movies. I can never think of his name, but he's been in a lot of movies. The guy from Jag was in it. It's just so good. Did you see it with Mike?
Which one was it? A Few Good Men?
A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorites.
Back to the Retro says Back to the Future. We know.
I know.
Back to the
We know.
That's a good one though. No, I didn't like the third. I didn't like the third one.
I have 4 because my wife teases me because she'll come up here and tell you what they are because she gets upset because I watch them every single time they come on, and it's like it's the first time I've ever watched it. Clear and Present Danger with Harrison Ford playing Jack Ryan, so the CIA stuff. The other one was We Were Soldiers with
that was good.
Yeah, like that.
Mel Gibson.
And then Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. Love that movie. And the other one is Interstellar.
Interstellar was good.
The others I need
to catch up on and watch, but
I didn't understand Interstellar. I was like, what? After Ari, what is going on?
I don't even know if I still understand it, and I still watch it.
I was totally lost.
You can't help but watch it.
I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah,
it's deep. It's deep.
I gotta go. I'm gonna throw out multiple too, since Mike did. Cheater.
Right.
Pulp Fiction, probably number one overall all time for me.
Best dance scene ever.
Tarantino fan. The Replacements with Keanu Reeves and Shane Falco.
Yeah,
that's a great movie.
They used to play it all the time on TBS, all the time. But I haven't seen it in a while.
Kind of a comedy, but My Cousin Vinny, right up there.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a good one.
Two Utes. Two Utes.
The scene where he's in the jail cell trying to tell him like what's going to go down. He thinks he's going to get,
Top Gun's another good one. Very good one.
Top Gun's a good one. Yeah. Bloodsport. For some reason, anytime Bloodsport's on, I have to watch it. Doesn't matter.
My dad loved that movie.
My
so now I watch it every time because it's like I'm sitting with my dad again. I love it.
And my stepdad pretty much raised me on a father level, so that when I see Bloodsport, maybe that's why I always want to watch it. It reminds me of being in the living room as a young boy, like my stepdad letting me watch, Frank Dukes.
Yeah,
love that movie. I made my wife watch it not that long ago, and she just kept looking at me like,
I know.
Why do you love this? And I was like, I don't know.
All right. Yeah, it's true. It's like
that is a sneaky good one.
Like to me, an underrated movie that I really enjoyed was Megan, about the AI doll. That was to me. That was
can't do it.
I
can't do dolls.
All this AI stuff coming out, people like, oh, AI is the best. It's the best. I always say, have you seen the movie Megan? You may not think so after you watch that, but it's just so good.
I love the Terminator movies, but like
Terminator. I forgot about that one. The original Terminator was incredibly good. Incredibly.
I actually like all of them, even the ones people hated. I just love the storyline so much that I like every one of them.
Yeah, I watch all of them.
The TV series that if somebody asked me what's one TV series that you wish would not have ended, it probably be Terminator, Sarah Connor Chronicles. That was.
Did it end good? Because I never got into it. I was afraid they were going to ruin it.
They just canceled it, so there was no ending. It was.
I hate when they do that. Yeah,
cut off.
Shows like that where they start out so good, I won't watch it till I know they end it. So there's an ending.
I know. Every time I hear the show gets canceled and there's no end, I'm like, well, there's no point in continuing, no matter how much I like it. You know.
So yeah,
Heroes was kind of like that. The show Heroes, I was big into that, and they just kind of
ruined it.
And they ruined it. The last season was like, the hell's going on?
Yeah, halfway through the second season, I quit watching. Halfway through the second season.
If you like true documentary stories that are documentaries are based on true stories, but they're you got to watch there's two different versions of it, but it's the same title, Dr. Death. Oh my god, they're both about medical doctors.
I've seen that. And that's the boy from the Psycho TV show, right? That's in that, I think.
The first one had, I don't know if you remember this show. I think it was Dawson's Creek. Remember Pacey?
Yeah. He
was in the first Dr. Death. He played the neurosurgeon. And in the second Dr. Death, the only one I knew in that was Mandy Moore. I think she was a singer and actress too. That was in Just This Is Us or whatever it's called. She was in the second one.
That show was so good, but I could not.
Yeah.
The emotional thing just ran too deep. I was like, nope, I'm out. I'm the softest hearted freaking person I know when it comes to when TV gets too deep or stuff gets too, hard to handle. I'm like, I'm out, man. I've got my heart's been tenderized because of my kids. So I can't.
My wife's like, are you crying?
Yes, absolutely.
He lost a sock, but you know how much that sock meant to that kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a tearjerker.
Yes, I'm crying. They sprayed Happy on the 9th green. Back to the retro. Top 3. Oh, yeah. You say,
yeah. Top 3 sports movies.
Well, definitely the Replacements are in there for me.
Yeah. Major League was another good one. Very good one.
Major League, yes.
I love The Water Boy. I'm definitely a Sandler person, apparently.
I'm telling you, I love the Adam Sandler.
Field of Dreams.
Yes.
That was a good one.
It's okay. I like Draft Day a lot.
I love Draft Day, and everybody hates that movie.
I don't know why.
I love it.
If you're into football and drafting, like it was kind of right up your alley.
Yeah. Yep.
Moneyball was good. Brad Pitt.
Moneyball was decent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights is very good.
Love it.
I've only seen it a time or two, so I have to say I've had to have seen something at least 5 or 6 times to put it up there with my favorite.
That's true. I liked Friday Night Lights, but I've only watched it twice. I have no desire to watch it again. So do I really love it?
Warrior, the MMA movie with Tom Hardy.
I haven't seen it. Seen it.
Well, looky here. Worth it or not, welcome aboard, buddy. I'm glad to see Alan here, man. That's cool. Worth or not, another great reviewer. If you're not familiar with him, tune on him because he does a lot of that. He's the reason why I don't do budget action cameras anymore. I'll be
familiar with him tomorrow. Anytime I hear about someone I should be watching,
he's good. He's really good. Yeah, he's the reason why I went to the DJI Osmo because it's just it's good. So welcome aboard, man. Appreciate it. Don't spit into cooler.
Too late.
Yeah, right.
Too late. Trying to think. I'm about to look up like best sports movie. I'm forgetting one. I know I am.
We're probably forgetting one in every category mentioned. We're probably forgetting a dozen of them. There's a lot of them out there.
Rudy, but that's a cop out. Rudy's
I haven't seen Rudy.
You've never seen? Oh wow, I hate Notre Dame, and I love that.
Thank you, sir.
I cried in that.
Yeah, Rudy was good. I forgot about that one too.
I cried.
Hard to leave out Rocky.
Which Rocky?
Oh yeah, the 1 and 2.
For me, it's Ivan Drago Rocky.
Yes.
No, I like 1 and 2. They're classics. To me, after that, they got little.
They're all great. I think they're all great, but
the soundtrack.
Yes. What's the name? Growing up, it's Ivan Drago.
A musical score to the Rocky 4. You can't beat it. How many times did you go train when you decided you were going to be a bodybuilder for like 5 days? That was your audio track in your headphones before you quit. Would
the Sandlot be a sports movie? Because that's kind of up there for me.
I think so. Because it's kind of like a kid version of
Creed was great. Yeah.
What the heck? We just talked about Field of Dreams.
I'm half asleep. I just texted the chat sports movie and I'm Googling it.
Here, I'll help you out. Let's see.
Help me.
There you go. Here you go, Mike. I'll just start typing in sports movies since you're asking.
Thank you.
Chat BARK.
Any Given Sunday, yes.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was good. Very good.
Every inch.
Shoot. What's the name of that movie? What's the name of the movie with Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans?
The Last Rookie?
Last Boy Scout.
Last Boy Scout, yeah.
Okay.
The Rookie was a good sports one with
Quaid. Yeah. What about that prison when it had had a football team in prison? Burke Reynolds was in the
Last Yard.
Tight end or last yard.
The longest yard.
Yeah.
The Last Yard. I'm getting close, but I'm not on it.
Yeah, you're on the football field. You're not out left field on that one.
I don't know if I have a favorite sports. I would have to say Rudy. If I had to say favorite, I'd have to say Rudy.
Mighty Ducks. No.
I've not seen the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, Amelia
Blades of Glory. That's a sports movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. A big fan of the other Will Ferrell sports movie, The Flint Tropics, the basketball movie. I love that one too.
I'm a Will Ferrell fan.
Yeah, me too.
Now, do you consider Days of Thunder is another good one?
I like that.
I guess so.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good one. I do like auto racing, so
never gotten into NASCAR. I used to like dirt track racing back in the day, but
yeah, we've got a dirt track like 2 miles from my house.
Yeah,
I don't like a lot of things NASCAR's done over the past several years. They really just done a lot.
What do you mean? They just keep turning left.
They just do a lot of things to ruin the sport. It's like the chase was a dumb idea. This stage racing's a dumb idea. I just don't know. I don't like it.
I'm trying to get back into it this year, but I stopped watching like 15, 20 years ago. And I'm trying to get back into it this year, and it's hard.
I can't watch sports. I just to
That's
put
all I can watch
aside
now.
3 hours of time.
Yeah,
It's not doable for me anymore. I can't do it.
People think I'm crazy. I love watching the pro fishing tournaments. I know it's a guy just standing in a boat, throwing a line, catching fish, but I can watch that all day long.
Yeah.
I can watch it all day long. Mike knows that because it's just awesome to me.
I mean, we watch videos about microphones. I think bass fishing is perfectly, probably exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going on about all these movies because you start thinking about something and
I
forgot about that one.
Way too easy. Like one of these days, I'm going to go on a podcast and it's just going to get down to business. I'm like, here we go. We go. We're not talking movies. We're not talking. We're going deep into some. We'll get to crying.
Yeah, right.
Now,
since we're talking about favorites, what's your favorite non-reviewing channel from electronics podcasts or channels in general on YouTube? What
non-reviewing? Wait, what?
So non-gear movie that's a YouTube.
Non-review channels. Like what other channels do you watch on YouTube that's not related to your
what we do
microphones
outside of our niche is what you're asking.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. What else do you guys like?
Dang. I might have to look.
I have a couple right off the bat because I watch them every day. I like watching Jeremy John's movie reviews.
Okay.
I like to watch Jeremy John's.
Dang.
Star Wars Theory. I like to watch. I love Star Wars, so I watch a lot of Star Wars Theory.
I'm definitely a big Star Wars guy too. I like all the new stuff. I don't dislike it. I'm not a hater. I'm not a snobby Star Wars fan. I thought oh shoot, what was?
I thought Rogue One was really done.
Oh, Rogue One was fantastic.
It tied into the original really well, especially the ending. Like, oh my gosh,
I loved Andor. And people hated it.
I thought Andor might have been the best show they've done so far.
Yes.
Which Obi-Wan was pretty close in my opinion, but Andor was like I was sucked in hardcore on that show.
I like the fan edit of the Obi-Wan that was brought down to like 2.5 hours, and it's And let's see.
I think Mark's trying to think of another podcast.
I can't watch The Acolyte because of how stupid it is, and it's not the political stuff. It's like this. There's the first episode. They had a scene where the ship was hit, and she goes out to fix it, and it's on fire. They're in space, and there's a fire. How could you have a fire in space?
There's no vacuum in there.
She's got a suit on, and yet she's staring at this like campfire coming out of it, like it was like a Sunday campfire with s'mores. Like, what are we doing here? What is this? Are you serious? Somebody just needed to watch that and just say no. That's not. You can't do.
No,
that.
I'm representing him here. Do you know this one?
Movie. Or
it's a podcast. It's a podcast. Well, it's not a podcast. It's a YouTube channel called The Y Files. It's very good because he talks about weird things like aliens, secret mysteries, and this and that, and he tells you like the myths, and then he tells you the truth about stuff. So what I like about it, he gives you both sides. He just don't come out and say, "Oh, this is 100% real" or "This is 100% false." He lets you come with your own conclusion. But it's a very good show or channel. I like to watch his channel. That's probably one of my other love. It's going to sound crazy. I could sit there and watch airplane videos all day long. Love it. I go to sleep listening to the air traffic control and watching planes land on live cams. I guess I'm weird, but that's that's my happy place. Being at an airport is my happy place. I love it. I love watching planes.
I'm discovering that I apparently don't watch YouTube unless it is some kind of tech or audio reviews.
And that's fine. I just wonder if you had anything else that you like besides that.
Podcasty stuff. I watch a lot of Bill Burr clips, apparently, which I love Bill Burr. I watch a lot of Club Random with Bill Maher clips because I love when people put him in his place.
Bill Burr is so realistic, though.
Bill Burr is fantastic.
I love the plane.
I will say my favorite channel that has nothing to do with audio is Techspert, which is if you haven't seen him, I won't understand how, but he's He's the bald chap from the UK, and he's got a really dirty sense of humor.
I think I've seen him. Yeah,
he's pure gold. Like he's the smartphone and tablet me. Everything's a wiener joke to this guy. So I really enjoy him.
That's like when I went to I did it on location shoot. I got behind the scene tour of Uranus Fudge Factory here in local to where we're at.
Nice.
The jokes the jokes he just said, I told him, I said, if I was monetized, I ain't now. I said, because the jokes were just but they're so funny. You gotta have a sense of humor if you name a store Uranus. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty, they just kind of the jokes kind of tell themselves after a while.
Yeah.
All my channels are movie related. People who like get behind the scenes and talk about movies.
Yeah, I've got a lot of that. Like if it's entertainment based or sports based, or I can get stuck on watching the best plays of the NBA in 2023 for an hour or two, or
Mike
just
Tyson
random
highlights.
Stuff. Oh God, I've watched all the Mike Tyson highlights.
Yes, I'll watch those forever.
Yeah. And for that matter, like anytime I see something about quickest knockout or craziest fight or girl makes other girl regret pushing her on stage at the weigh-in, like I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see what happened there. Yeah. So yep.
I like watching people watch 70s or 80s movies for the first time reactions.
I like reaction stuff too.
Yeah.
Specifically for some reason I love watching reactions to the Beastie Boys. Like I love watching these hip hop aficionados like watch the Beastie Boys for the first time because I love the Beastie Boys. So yeah, I've definitely got my bands and groups and that I like to see reactions of. So
loved the Beastie Boys in high school all the time.
I watched I think everybody used to listen to that, Fight for Your Right and all that stuff. A Brass Monkey, all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
I watched my interviews of YouTube podcasters, if that counts. Back the retro says.
Totally counts. Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, actually, other YouTube channels I watch, like I said, I watch a lot of fishing channels. I love the filming locations. I'm sure Back the Retro's heard of it. 80s Life. It's a lot. He goes over a lot of old 80s movies and songs and commercials. It's just fun because it brings you back to that time, because you can remember. I know exactly what I was doing when this song came out or this show came out, and all that stuff. So those are always enjoyable for me as well. So I guess I like a lot of different things. Really, I like my hands in a little bit of everything. So.
Well, fellas, I have definitely enjoyed myself.
Yep.
I tried to private chat you both, but nobody ever sees the private chat.
I just saw it.
Yeah, we've gone for over an hour and a half. So yeah,
I have ran out of time, mostly because I'm old and it's
I hear you. I got to work in the morning. So
my head was down because I was getting ready to text you guys. I look up and I'm like, oh, Mark's already got it. All right.
I think we're on agreement. Yeah, so I got to work in the morning yet. So
me too, and that's just a darn shame. We should literally we should have made a couple grand for this, right? We should have made a little bit of money for doing it. We should have all gotten paid from YouTube for doing this.
I agree.
Not really, but that is.
I work a couple more days this week, and I'm off for about, like I said, a week and a half almost.
Rub it in. Rub it in.
I'm going on my honeymoon. I really probably need to be off.
Okay. Well, that's
rub
fair.
it in.
That's fair.
I got
a lot of good content coming up. I'm going to be filming in New York and New Jersey, so I'm going to be doing some work too while I'm out there. Not just all filmed. I'm going to be doing some filming and getting that all done. So it's going to be a busy time. So my main goal
on your honeymoon, you're going to film stuff on your honeymoon?
Oh yeah,
I know.
She wants me to, so because I'm going to be right there, and we're going to eat at the Seinfeld Diner. That's going to be on part. That's going to be part of it. And one more sneak preview, I'll tell you, we're going to go to the Ghostbusters Firehouse in New York. So that's going to be so I can't wait for that. So that'll all be on video coming up soon, and I can't look forward to it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the wedding. It's going to be good. We're going to be busy, so. I probably won't be on your podcast, Mike. Friday night I'll be a little busy with rehearsals.
I won't be live streaming this Friday.
Okay.
Clay and I said it's Father's Day weekend. We've been kind of grinding away, and we're starting to realize that as much as we love live streaming for 5 hours, it's taking a toll.
Yeah.
Every week is a super hard thing to keep up.
Yeah.
Me and Bronson are lucky to do like once every couple months. Yeah. It's tough, man. When you put yourself on a schedule.
Yeah,
that's when it starts to falter a little bit.
yeah.
Right.
In 5 hours and 4
It's
hours.
hard.
So now it's like, dude, we gotta be intentional to an hour, not just because it's not that we don't love doing it. It's like we have lives outside of this, and
Yes. Me
weekends
and Bronson
matter.
started off kind of hot and heavy, and I told him from the start, I was like, we can't do this every week. He's like, why not? I was like, you'll find out.
Yeah.
We just can't. Like it's just not sustainable. Like we're trying to run a channel, we're trying to, have, family stuff and doing
full-time jobs.
Not gonna work, dude.
No,
And
exactly. But before I let you go, Bark, do you have anybody? Before I let you go, Bark, do you have anybody you want to shout out at the last minute you want to say, like where people can find you and all that good stuff, social media?
Nah, not really.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, no, I'm not really big on social media. I don't really try to grow it. I'm not the type that tries to steer people in my direction. Like I've got this goal, everything organic. Like I don't want to push. I don't want to say like and subscribe. I don't want to beg for anything. I don't want 30,000 subs with the same view count I have now. You know what I mean? Like I want the
hard
view count
time
to
doing
match
that
up a little bit. Just don't like asking for it, man. Like if you come to the channel and you see something you like, stick around. If not, I'm not going to ask you to. That's up to you.
Right.
Well, we all got our choices or whatever. So, I mean, my tagline down here says obscure Mike. So obviously that's where I'm from.
There you go. I think the people here know you.
Subs to it, but yeah, I'm just I don't put a lot of time into it, so I'm definitely not going to beg people to spend their time doing it. That's a personal. It's a personal choice to watch me or not.
Absolutely.
If they love you enough, they're just going to hit the subscribe button without asking.
Yeah,
that's where I'm getting.
True.
At times, I almost want to just keep the circle small, and I don't think it'll get very big anyways. But it's just kind of nice to have it manageable, I guess. I'm still able to respond to every comment. Right. When it comes to a time when I can't respond to every comment, I'm gonna feel a little bit weird about that, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
I do like interaction. The interaction is the best part, I think. I'm like you. I don't want to lose that, Yeah. So
I'm not great with plugging stuff, but
how Tom does it at 150,000 subscribers blows my mind.
Or Bandrew at 325K, and that's the thing. That's and I noticed like their views are much more than what I've got going on, but it'd be hard to stare at that sub number of 100K, 200K, 300K and not be getting 75K views per video. You know what I mean? Yep. I'd be like, most of the people sub to me aren't watching. Like I kind of would rather everybody be watching, but that's still the case now. Yeah. Like I'm pushing 9, but I'm lucky to have 1,000 views in the first week or two on a random video. So it's
real quick off the top of your head. Don't spend too much time on or more than 5 seconds. Do you know what percentage of your viewers are non-subscribers?
Most. I don't know the exact percentage.
I was 88% when I looked at my analytics yesterday. 80% of my viewers are non-subscribers.
Let me see here.
I'll have to look at that stuff. That's
I'm curious.
The algorithm changes a lot sometimes, but yeah.
Analytics, audience, returning viewers, unique viewers.
I know you were trying to go. I didn't want to make you.
No, you're fine. That's a good question, though.
I mean, I'm trying to go too.
Not subscribed is 85.1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you push it, I mean, how many more are you going to get? If 88% is the I mean, are you going to get close to knocking that down? Nope.
Right.
Probably not.
Once you get, there's 1,000 subscribers, then 100,000 subscribers. And if I really cranked on it now, it would still take me 5 years to get there, or 6 years without doing it. I'll go with 6 years. I'm not saying that's the number, but if it means I got to go an extra 2 years to get to that silver play button, I'll do it rather than grinding and obsessing about it.
It's so unpredictable, like
I said,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like is it back to YouTube pushing shorts and long form, but the algorithm changes too. So, Wait, before we do go, I want to tell you both happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Same to you guys.
So,
and thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. It took a while. It takes a while to get these together because, like you said, life happens. But it's good that we can do it. And
Mark and I've been trying to do it. You've been trying to get me on your podcast forever, and we just can never get a day that lines up.
Almost like 10 seconds.
Yeah. Sorry, we gotta go.
Like, what are you doing? I'm not getting on the podcast. Yeah, and we will get that accomplished, but who knows when. But thank you, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mark. Have a great night.
You too.
Have a good week.
All
See
right,
you.
Bye. All right, Mike. Well, that was fun. Like I said, it is getting late. It's like I said, bright and early, work tomorrow, and then head to the grind. But I appreciate you coming on again. I enjoyed it. Like I said, this is what I like to do. I like to do is get to kind of know the person behind the camera. We all hear the reviews and see we know what good a job they do, but I like to know where they come from, how they got into it, and what they like and stuff. So it's always interesting.
I love doing it. And hey, man, your podcast was what finally got me and Barker to do a podcast together. He reached out to me like a while ago, wanting to know if we could do it, and we just could never get a day where we were both. We just couldn't nail down a day, and it's been I think like 6 or 7 months.
Appreciate that, Clay. Appreciate that much from you, buddy. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I told you, pinpoint the time because life happens. People got different things going on, and it's real hard if you like when I get people from like I do a lot of content creators, and a lot of the guys I do that do the filming locations. A lot of them are in California. You're talking 3-hour difference, so we got to try to pinpoint. Okay, now remember that's going to be 6 o'clock your time. Mine's 9 or whatever. So that can kind of be. It can be difficult or take some work. So But I'm happy with so far with the content guys I got going. I got some more coming up, which is going to be interesting too. So I'm enjoying it. I do this on the side. It's like a side shoot on my regular channel, like I said, when I do, but it's fun,
Yep, it's fun. It's easier doing this hobby than some of the other hobbies.
Right. Exactly. And it's easy to get started. Like we talked about earlier, grab a nice microphone, a camera, just get started. That's all you got to do. Just start,
We're living in a golden age, a golden era of affordability, great stuff at an affordable price.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's almost to the point now, there's really no excuse in that you can't really start it now. $37 if you buy, a $70 webcam, you're on. That's
use
all
your
you
cell
need.
phone. Yes.
Yeah. So everybody's got
$37
that.
microphone and use your cell phone as a camera, and you got the Clay Allen Chronicles, which just looks
the Clay Allen project.
Amazing. Like Clay's shot in his room. I mean, you want to talk about looking exceptional and sounding
it just has that
exceptional
nice
at a
feel.
budget.
It has that nice look that just draws you in.
Yep.
It's clean. It's not overdone. It's just clean, and just like it.
When I watch Clay, I just think like late night talk show host. Radio talk show. Late night, just chilling.
Appreciate you joining in on us tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Listen to WKB from the Lighthouse or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, like the fog, But it is. He does that. I mean, I don't know if he gets tired of hearing that, but it is a very good setup.
It's a genuine treat to do a podcast with him. It's pretty good.
Well, I'm glad I found you, Mike, couple months ago, and glad we got to be kind of friends and do this kind of stuff. And like I said, I still think we all somehow some of us get together and do that NAB show or whatever you called it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
And that would be a blast. I would love to go to that.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Have some fun together, man.
Yep. Meet and greet.
Crew together. Get the original crew, the community crew together out there. Have some fun.
How fun would that be? Be good times.
Yep. So end up in the back of a cop car.
Yeah. Remember, but you said it's in Vegas, right?
Yep.
But what happens there stays there. So
I don't know. Police reports, mug shots, they travel.
Yeah, that becomes public access then that way. So all right, Mike, I'm gonna let you go. It's getting late. I appreciate you again. Happy Father's Day. Enjoy your time off. Right. And look forward to seeing you again soon.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
I'll thank everybody else for tuning in tonight. Hope you enjoyed it, and we appreciate you watching. And look for more. And make sure to check out Mike's podcast, Leveling Up with Clay, on every Friday except this Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And checked out their other channels to watch their regular posts besides podcasts and learn from the stuff. You've been putting out a lot of stuff lately, Mike. You've been pumping out quite a few.
Grinding. I'm trying to get done with another one today.
Okay. Well, I'll let you go so you can get that edited done and all that. And
this guy right here working on this one.
What is that?
That is the Mayano G1 mixer. Looks like a little Rode Streamer X.
Yeah. Interesting.
I was working on that one today and almost got done and malfunctions happen.
Oh, and then you had to do this. I just interrupted all the progress.
Oh, no. Nope. I knew I was coming on here before I even started that. I just tried to cram one in before doing this. So all good.
All right. Well, thanks again. And we'll be seeing you, talking to you soon.
All right. Have a blessed night, guys.
Yep. Have a great night, everyone. We'll talk to you next time.